Welcome to Black Business TV. This channel highlights some of the most successful Black-owned businesses today. Some you may have heard, and perhaps some you haven't. Today I want to talk about the largest Black-owned business in the United States, Worldwide Technology, also known as WWT. WWT's rise to becoming an IT powerhouse can be primarily attributed to two men, David Steward and Jim Kavanaugh. David's journey to co-founding one of the most successful IT companies in the country began on a farm in Clinton, Missouri. Born in 1951, David was the fifth of his parents' 8 children. David would be exposed to entrepreneurship at an early age, as his father, Harold Lloyd Steward, ran multiple businesses, including a janitorial service and working as a personal mechanic. Harold was an entrepreneur, not by choice, but by necessity. Clinton, like most of the South at the time, was still racially segregated, and most businesses in the town refused to hire people of color. Fun fact, did you know David was personally involved in a few of Clinton's integration efforts, such as being the first person of color to attend the town's integrated elementary school and swimming pool? Anyway, David picked up his father's business acumen and graduated from Central Missouri State University with a degree in business administration. After completing college, David worked in various sales and business roles before landing a senior account executive position at Federal Express, or as we like to call it today, FedEx. This role turned out to be the break David needed. He excelled in the role and was so successful, the company placed him in the Federal Express Sales Hall of Fame. In 1984, David decided it was time to start his own business. With $2,000 he borrowed from his father, he purchased Transportation Business Specialists, a railroad services company, from an acquaintance. David took a huge risk stepping out to start his own business. He once detailed how much of a gamble this was. Quote, "At the time, my wife and I had 2 small children, a mortgage, and a small bank account. We were living paycheck to paycheck with all the trappings of success that keep you locked into a job. So I left my $65,000 a year job with its car allowance, expense account, and excellent package of fringe benefits. I was on my own, removed from the security blanket that comes with being a Fortune 500 company employee. Needless to say, it was a dramatic change. However, the gamble turned out to be successful as the company thrived under David's leadership. His next bet would prove to be the riskiest of them all, Worldwide Technology. In 1990, Jim Kavanaugh and his manager at the time approached David with a business opportunity, starting an IT reselling business. For those who are not familiar with the term, IT resellers buy equipment such as computers and printers from the manufacturer and essentially, as the name implies, resell them to the end user. Resellers effectively serve as the middleman in the distribution process. IT resellers can provide value to the customer because they typically provide the product or service needed due to their vast partner ecosystem. Resellers often acquire technology from the manufacturer at the lowest rates available, even lower than it would cost to buy directly from a company such as Dell or HP. Manufacturers, in turn, are willing to offer resellers the best quotes because of the business they pretend to bring. Say, for example, a university needs to upgrade its IT infrastructure every few years. Well, it may be easier and cheaper for them to use a company such as WWT, who will have the best rates on the market and provide everything they need under one contract, versus having to do separate deals, such as a deal with the computer maker, a deal with the router maker, a deal with the printing people. I think you get the point. Well, David liked the idea so much, he provided nearly all of the startup money to launch the company. How much, you ask? David's investment into the launch of WWT totaled $250,000, essentially all of his savings. This time around, the gamble wasn't without painful consequences. The company wasn't immediately successful and funds were often tight. To ensure his employees were paid, David would often wait weeks without paying himself. The business took a toll on his finances, and David even recalls a time when, upon looking outside his office window, he noticed his car was being repossessed. Yes, I said repossessed. David went and chased after the tow truck in order to retrieve his briefcase, which was in the car. Remember, I said David has a wife, kids, and a mortgage. I can only imagine the toll this was taking on his household at the time. Things got worse as Kavanaugh's manager, originally the third co-founder, pulled out of the business as the company fell behind on debt payments. Jim Kavanaugh, for his credit, stuck by David, and the two co-founders dedicated countless hours to getting the company on the right track. The turnaround came thanks to WWT's designation as a minority-owned small business. WWT was able to secure lucrative set-aside contracts with various federal government agencies such as the Department of Defense. These set-aside contracts fueled an astonishing period of growth for the company, from just $8 million of revenue in 1992 to just under $1 billion in revenue by 2001. Along the way, WWT picked up major private customers such as AT&T. As WWT expanded, the key ingredient to its success came down to one factor: scale. WWT has partnerships with nearly every prominent name in tech, companies such as Dell, HPE, Apple, Google, AWS, Microsoft, VMware, Cisco, F5, and many others. Possessing a deep partner ecosystem allows WWT to meet just about any of its clients' needs. As a result, WWT has over the years become a trusted advisor to its customers. Early in my career, I even happened to be one of them. The company I used to work for contracted WWT for a major IT project, and it was their expertise to help us complete that project on time and under budget. I can see why their website states that they provide technology to 45% of the companies on the Fortune 500. So there you have it. WWT has quietly become one of the most dominant technological forces. With over $13.3 billion in revenue as of 2021, they are the largest Black-owned company in the United States and one of the largest privately owned IT companies, period. Today, Jim Kavanaugh serves as the CEO of WWT, while David Steward remains the company's chairman. I, for one, have the utmost respect for David for overcoming the challenges he's faced to get to where he is today. I mean, this man overcame racism and segregation in the South, found success in corporate sales, which is not easy, by the way, took a risk buying a rail company, and parlayed that success to fund a tech startup. Most of the time, when we hear about tech startups being successful, usually the person that started it is a college-age kid with little to lose. Well, when David co-founded WWT, he was a grown man with a wife and kids and still put everything on the line to ensure this company succeeded. David is one of the wealthiest African Americans today, with an estimated net worth of $5.3 billion. His story and the story of WWT prove that anything is possible in this crazy world called business, as long as we have faith, determination, and a bit of courage. Thank you for watching. Be sure to hit the like and subscribe button as we continue to highlight Black-owned businesses across every industry.